Okay, guys, can I just bring you up? Huddle up, huddle up, huddle up. Okay, guys. Come down, down. Lovely. Exactly, exactly. Right. Diving in, diving in. Matt, can I borrow you just for a sec? Right, I just want to kind of share a couple of things with you. I want to change some things. As you know, we don't, it's very easy to get sort of insular on techniques if you only ever attack in that same method. Can I use you? So if I'm just coming in with the same punch, we'll do this, but we'll do this if it's kind of new technique, it's guesswork, what hand, what angle, and so on. So I'm going to let you see where the punch is coming from, and that's what you're going to defend. You might choose to do that as a cross, you might choose to do that as stepping in with a punch, whatever. But if we only stick with the same one, then it becomes, you know, we're getting too trained and too set up with that particular idea. So we've got two main trains of thought on this. For the attacker, my responsibility is basically just to make sure that I aim for the face. So that's the target I'm going for. I'm not going to help him by pulling the punch short or trying to veer off. I've got to make sure that I'm striking straight in for the target every time. Oh, sorry, shit. I thought you'd block that, actually.
No, actually, like, you know, saloon doors.
Good, you didn't need those, Chief, did you?
No, I didn't need them.
That was
Anyway,
great.
I've got loads at home.
As for defence, he's got a couple of choices here. He might go from the inside out, he might go from the outside in. You know, as you know, we don't kind of opt for this sort of set-in guard or anything. There's lots of guidelines that we have in Wing Chun, lots of things that we adhere to, not overcommitting, not relying on strength and so on. But nothing's carved in stone, so you've got to kind of free this up a little bit. And it's the same with drills as well. I'm always trying to change things. So like in pack sow techniques, from here I might step in with a pack and a punch. It's very basic. Basics are great. We need basics, and when we've got basics, we need to know how to relax those basics. If you just stick with the basics, it becomes impractical, basically. I might relax my hand, I might do the pack faster. It might even change that I ask him to step in, and I do the pack punch. You know, because it's just to put a tilt on whatever you're doing, change it a little bit. You know, be your own worst critic. Because if I'm doing the pack punch, this is a little bit silly. You know, it's open to ridicule that I'm going to step in and I'm going to dictate at the point that I punch. Whereas really, if he's the threat, so in this time, I'll step in, but you're going to pack punch. So that's what we've got. I'm stepping in, and he does the pack punch. If I step in, he does the pack punch, and I defend, then we follow up according, you know? But that's it. So we can change these things. So he's going to do the pack, so I'm stepping in on him. And I kind of want to change that a little bit with the Sarm Bok Mar as well, because it's very easy. You come in with a punch, I do an outside pack, for instance. If I'm doing an outside pack, fine, we turn with an outside pack. We don't do inside turns with the inside pack, but who says? You know, we don't do, in Chi Sao, we don't do a punch this way, but who says? You know, because if everything is precise, then it becomes linear. You start, you know, you kind of, I don't even know if that's the right word. You know, you've got the blinkers on. You're telling yourself a punch is only going to come in this way, so that's all you need to defend. I know that I can punch this way and he can hit, but you know, we need to deal with it first. We don't want to exchange punches and see who can take the hardest punch. You know, so we don't do that. If I punch out in a bad technique, use your tan sideways. You know, we know we can do this later. It's not good to do that on day one. You don't sort of want to tell a beginner that yeah, tan sao can be up there if you want. It can. Learn what it is first, and then we'll start changing it. So we know that these things can change. Sarm Bok Mar, and the idea is then, you know, outside, that's where I want to be with the pack, and it's all right to turn. Inside, I don't turn. I don't want to be on the inside. It's not really my choice. You know, if he comes in with a punch, and I find that I've turned here, there's nothing wrong with this. You know, because really, even if it's an inside pack and it's come right across, that's only second section of Sulam Tao. You know, so I can move out. This is a problem if I turn with this pack and I stay there, then obviously I'm going to get hit. So as soon as I've got to this point, I need to be moving out anyway. You know, we don't want to sit and wait to see what's happened. We never want to do that anyway. We need to realise, assuming that we know that something's going to happen at this point, then as soon as the distance closes, there's going to be a strike. If it's not from me, it's going to be from him. So we need to assume that. So if I'm coming in with so he's the Wing Chun man, I'm coming in with a strike and he's going to defend, he's going to block and counter. All right, in many ways, it shouldn't have got to that anyway, because he should have read the situation, walked away, diffused it, or, you know, hit first. But he hasn't. He's waited till I've set in with a punch. I come in with this, and he's got to defend. You enjoyed that, didn't you?
It was beautiful. Let's do it again.
So I come in with a punch, whatever, and he's got to defend. If I'm just kind of rocking about at this point, then I'm going to get hit. Exactly. And that's the idea, because, you know, if I come in with a punch and he does a pack, even if it's a jab, here, as soon as I let go, he's got to springboard forward. This is what we're trying to achieve in Chi Sao when we play Chi Sao. This Lok Sao, Jit Kyun, this, you know, lost hand straight punch. That's what we're aiming for. We're trying to find that gap. So if that's the case, and I do this technique, and he defends, boom, and then that's it, straight forwards. Again, even if I just do a silly feint, he's still got to go forwards regardless. So it doesn't matter. We're not going to block and then sit back and wait. Okay, so this is important. We need to make sure that we have that forward thinking. So thinking outside the box a little bit, I want to do that with Sarm Bok Mar. I don't want us to kind of, you do the punches please, I don't want us to get used to just stepping back, and I can only, the benefit of doing Sarm Bok Mar drills is that we're learning to use the body as a whole. We're also teaching ourselves that if you do overcommit, if it's a sequence, you know, sometimes med happens. I can recover and I can get back to center. So I've gone too far, and then you can get back to center. You're also teaching yourself that if he comes in with a strike or a grab or whatever, then you can use the body as a whole to guide this pass. You know, if someone's trying to, as a takedown or whatever, if you come in for the legs or whatever, in this sense, you know, you can move the whole body back, and you're feeling this, you're going with it. But again, this becomes a little bit staid. So at the start of the class, we did Bu Mar stepping and we did single punches. Then we did it with threes. And the reason for this is because, and we'll try this on you now. You've all just been doing Sarm Bok Mar drills with a single pack. So we'll do this again. When I step, and again, very simple, structured Bu Mar step in, because it's a new technique, new drill, let's get used to it. So every time I'm doing one Bu Mar step, one punch, he's doing one Sarm Bok Mar step, one Pak Sao. Each is one. It's one. It's one. I want to try the same thing, it's the same principle, but only let the foot go once, but we're going to do 3 punches and 3 packs. So we'll do a couple, just steady first of all. So it's the same one step, same one step. This time we're both going to do the same one step, but there's going to be 3. There's a want to get back because you triggered into that. And this is the thing, you know, it's a testament to your drilling, the fact that you want to go back with this. But that is also sometimes a thing that gets me a little bit concerned. When we drill something to a point where it becomes natural for that reaction, and that's what I don't want you to do. 30 years ago when I set this class up, the idea was that I wanted people to learn Wing Chun. I didn't want to teach Wing Chun. I don't want to spoon feed information. I want you to be able to apply it yourself. And so, you know, it's a little bit like we'll learn footwork, you know, we'll learn to do stuff with turning of the hips, we'll learn what to do with the body, we'll do what to do with the head, and it becomes like those books, you know, where you change the hat and the shirt and the trousers and the shoes. You should be able to intermingle these as much as you like. So for that reason, again, same thing, if you're not sure about this, we'll do, first of all, and if as beginners, just stick with the single pack. So you're going to go back once, so now we're going to do 3 punches, but it's just one step. We're both going to stay there. 1, 2, 3. Nice and steady. I'm not putting any force or power in this. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's how we're going to play it. Let's do that again. Because when we're sparring, or in reality, you know, okay, his hands, he's not presented anything. He hasn't got anything out for me to grab. You know, I know he's fired up. I'm also aware that if I get too close, I'm going to get hit. So, you know, I've no concerns about that. What I don't want is people just being static. I don't want you being stationary. I want you to be able to move. I also don't want you realizing or thinking that I can only pack this way, or I can only pack this way. You know, it's okay to pack that way across the leg, even though I would say not to do that, not the best thing. It's not the best thing for me to get on the inside here, you know, but these things might happen. So let's be open-minded for it. So for that reason then, ultimately, not now, but ultimately this is what we're going to be doing. So we'll go straight into for the 3. because at any point, I want to be able to launch one out as well. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and just to fire one round as well. So we can be doing the Sarm Bok Mar idea, but I can be taking center, it can be a singular, it could be multiple attacks, it could change direction. So we can still keep a footwork drill, but be open-minded upstairs. So that's what I want to try. So we'll see how that goes. You know, as you know, I just make all this stuff up and then we play it out and we'll see how it goes. So that's what we're going to try. To start, the single step, the single pack. And then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just let yourself get a feel for this. And away you go. Cool. Thanks for listening. Cheers, guys. Thanks, Mark. Well done. Good, good, good. Marvellous. Cheers. Lovely.